Hello guys and welcome to the 10.25 patch rundown in Teamfight Tactics Fates edition, which is the last patch that we will have in 2020, and after all in 2021, early 2021, we will have the set 4.5. My name is Dr. Hades, I'm a TFT master player and I'm going for rank 1. So the first changes that we have for the patch 10.25 are some system changes, and they change a little bit the base roll odds at level 7. As you can see, like, you will have a lower chance to roll 1 cast units and a bigger chance to roll 12 cast units. Why this happens is pretty easy, because at level 7 a lot of players have low health, and if they roll at 7 they have a small chance to hit the very good units, so practically they are already dead and have no chance to come back into the game without a big luck. So they made a little bit of changes, so now you have a better chance to, let's say, stabilize in the game and get to level 8. And the second system change is pretty simple and a change that should have been from the beginning. If your bench is full when you return from carousel, the extra champion will be sold automatically at the end of the planning. Selling another champ or increasing your team size will remove the overflow condition. So right now, you know, there was always a problem when you were coming from the carousel that you would have one extra champion on the board, and you could have played with that one extra champion for one turn, at least for one turn. So that was not okay. Like, that was let's say, abusing of a bug. So they changed it, now it's good. It will sell automatically before the next round starts. The second change is of course a balanced traits, and they start with Divine, because Divine, they were so powerful at patch 10.24 and 10.24p, so they just lowered their damage reduction and bonus true damage by 5%, which I think will stabilize the team and will not make it like a 100% win. After all, they made Elderwood a stronger comp, because before running 3 Elderwood or 6 Elderwood was not that great, but once you get to 9 Elderwood maybe you could get back into the game. But before that was really hard to, I don't know, use them. But right now they increased by 5 every stack, the armor and MR, so they will be more tanky, and I think now even running 3 Elderwood is worth it, because you get 60 armor and MR per after all, which is a lot better than before. And at mage, running 6 mages before was not gonna happen. Even if you would have played, let's say, Elderwood Veigar, you wouldn't go for 6 mages, or was not that played. But now you get a 10% bonus spell power if you go 6 mages, and it might be worth it this time. And the last change is on Vanguard. If you run 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8, you get a lot more armor. If you go to 8 Vanguards, now you can get 2000 armor, but unfortunately, in my opinion, this is not really viable, taking into consideration that most of the comps late game have a lot of spell power and not attack damage. So, but we will see if Vanguards will be played, because this we could say, like, this set, they were like absolutely garbage. Moving on to 1 cost champions changes. So they saw that Diana and Lissandra are still doing really good right now. Even though they got nerfed last patch, they decided to nerf them even more, so probably they made them not playable anymore. In my opinion, it's not playable anymore. Fiora was probably one of the worst units that you could use. It was used only for her traits and not for abilities, but right now they reduced the mana by 10 and increased the spell damage, so she might be playable from now on, but we're gonna see, because the damage is pretty big. Once you 3-star her, it's 600 spell damage, which is pretty big. Maokai got a little buff in armor and magic resist, so he will be more tanky, especially early game. And Wukong gets a spell AD ratio increased, so maybe we can play King Wukong again, but I don't know, we'll see. On 2 cost champions, we got a lot of things change and very interesting changes. Aphelios got balanced, let's say, because they fixed the bug that prevented Aphelios turrets from firing during Hunter trait activation. So now he properly attacks with his turrets, but for that they had to reduce Aphelios by 5 AD the damage, because if not, probably he would have become the best unit and everybody would have played like Aphelios. After that, Hecarim got a 10 mana reduction on his ultimate. It was not a very good unit lately, so they decided to maybe give him a little buff. They don't make risky changes right now just because there will be no changes for 1 month. We will get into the Christmas holiday for them, so this is what we're gonna play for the next month. Javan gets nerfed because Keepers were doing really good, Warlords are doing really good, and his CC is a pretty big deal, especially early game, and they had to increase his ultimate mana just to make sure he will not ult that often. Sylas was not that played, especially as a 4-star unit, but making him more powerful as a 4-star unit, you might even think to play more, let's say 5 Moonlight, and focusing the itemization on Aphelios and Sylas, just because Sylas right now would be really powerful as a 4-star unit. Vi is also getting a, let's say, buff and nerf. She's getting balance. She will cast more often, but the armor penetration is lowered, so it's like, say, a balance, but probably more as a nerf. 3 cost champions, another big change here is on Evelyn. So Evelyn was doing like a lot of damage once her unit was, let's say, lower than 50% health. So she was executing 3 times the damage, but they had to reduce it because, you know, sometimes early game you hit Evelyn and she just kills everybody, because early game a lot of units get to 50% or less, and practically she one-shots a lot of units, which is pretty big, especially early game. So they reduced the execution damage by 0.5, so not 50%, 0.5x. Now it will be just 2.5x, but they increased the spell damage, so she will do more spell damage as a unit to the units, let's say, that are not necessarily lower than 50% health. Another bug that they fixed is on Kalista. So she had an issue that caused Kalista to execute too early or too late. This includes her interaction with shields and damage amplification items, but right now she will use her, let's say, ult, but which is a passive. She will execute her target properly at the exact moment she needs, even if the unit gets a shield or something else, okay? But for that they had to reduce the attack speed by 0.1, just to make sure Kalista will not be like the perfect unit again, like Aphelios in the game. Another change they made was on Lux, just because putting mana on Lux or getting a chosen Lux, okay, was not that good, because she was using ultimate before the, let's say, divine prop, so this was not good. But now as a chosen Lux, there will be not mana reduction, there will be AP amplification, so she will do a lot more damage, and with the divine proc, okay? Xinzao, it's probably his last chance to become a better unit. They buffed him every single patch for the last 3 patches, I think, and he is still not a very good carrier, so they just gave him a bigger buff and they just hope that he will be played and be good. Yubi gets just a 50 health buff, just because she was dying early game really fast, and she was not being able to use her ult, not even once. For 4 cost units, we have 2 changes. Talon is getting a buff, Warwick is getting a nerf. Talon is getting a buff just because he was practically non-existent in the last patch. Before being the best unit in the game, it became probably the worst 4 cost unit in the game. But now he's getting a little bit of a buff, but we have to keep in mind that the untargetable thing, it's not there anymore, so he just gets a 50 HP and a little bit of spell AD ratio, and if he kills the unit with his ultimate, it will not automatically get full mana and ult again. So we have to keep in mind that he is not the god that he was before. And with Warwick, he just gets a life steal lowered because, after all, come on, he was like a beast. Like, he was, I don't know, 5% health, and in the next seconds, if he was not like CC'd, he would have been like full HP, killing all the enemy team. Come on, that's not good. Even though I spammed the divine in a comp, what can we do? It needed to be nerfed. Okay, and moving on to the last champion balance, which is the 5 cost units, where we have Kayn with a little bit of a nerf because he was doing a little bit too good. And Seth, let's say they fixed the bug. When, you know, there was a problem when Seth wanted to ult, but the enemy unit couldn't be like moved or something, he stopped his ultimate and you just lost the AoE secondary damage that he would do. Now it will change, because he will still do the AoE secondary damage, but the primary target will continue to be unaffected, even though if he cannot do anything, he will like probably just jump with his fist and hit the units in the back. So, which is good, because now Seth will become probably a very good unit, and maybe Brawler Ashe will be back into the game, taking this into the consideration, and the Warwick buff. Last but not least, we have the balance items, and here Last Whisper gets just 5% armor reduction buff, which probably will make, let's say, Jean better, and probably even Ashe better, even Talon a little bit better. I think that's it, right? Not any other units use this, so it just becomes a more usable item, because probably it lost his popularity in last patch. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know into the comment section which are your favorite changes for this patch. Which comp do you think it will be the best in the next month, because we'll not have any more patches for the next month. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, let a comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and think about becoming a member to get some benefits and support the channel. Until next time, play some more TFT. Bye.